Welcome to The Explainer. For years, we've been hearing about the promise of enterprise AI, always stuck in pilots, always in testing. Well, today, we're talking about a huge milestone because the pilot phase is officially over. A totally new kind of AI is now live, and it's running the core operations inside one of the world's most complex industries.
So let's just get one thing straight right off the bat. The system we're talking about, from a company called GLAI, this is not a test. It's not running in some sandbox. It is fully operational, live, and running mission-critical tasks as we speak. This is the real deal. And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? This is from the news that broke back on April 8th, 2026. What it's telling us is that a new type of AI has just been unleashed inside one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies on the planet. And honestly, the implications are just massive.
Okay, so let's really dive in here. To get why this is such a breakthrough, we need to look at what this thing is actually doing, completely on its own.
Look, this isn't about an AI helping you draft an email. No, we're talking about the heavy stuff. This system is autonomously running daily regulatory stock reports. It's executing entire monthly compliance workflows. It's even powering global payroll for thousands of people and is plugged deep into the company's core. Their ERP, their HR systems, these are not small tasks. These are processes with absolutely zero margin for error.
So what's the magic behind all of this? Well, the technology making it all possible, it's a concept called Agentic AI. All right, so think of it this way. A chatbot, you have to keep feeding it prompts, right? Well, Agentic AI is designed to act on its own. Imagine for payroll, an AI agent spots a problem. It can reason that, this is probably because of that new tax law in Germany. Then it decides on the right fix and goes and executes that change for hundreds of employees. It gets the goal, figures out the steps, and just does it. It doesn't just help, it acts.
And this slide really drives the point home. What we're seeing here is this huge leap from AI as a helpful co-pilot to AI as the actual autonomous owner of a whole process. It's the difference between an AI that helps you summarize a report and one that just runs the payroll for thousands of people, no questions asked. Now, to really understand why this is such a massive deal, we have to talk about where this AI is working. Trying to deploy any new tech in the pharmaceutical industry, that is the ultimate stress test.
The pharma world is just a minefield of regulations. One tiny mistake on a regulatory filing can lead to catastrophic fines. Deadlines aren't just suggestions, they're set in stone. It is an environment with absolutely zero tolerance for failure, which makes it probably the toughest place on earth to test out a new enterprise AI.
So how does the platform manage all that chaos? Well, it's actually pretty brilliant. First, as you see, it just pulls all those separate systems, ERP, HR, finance, into one single place. Then it's constantly checking and double-checking the data to make sure it's perfect. From there, it moves on to execution, running those super complex workflows all by itself. And finally, and this is so crucial in pharma, it creates a perfect airtight audit trail for every single thing it does.
And look, this success in pharma wasn't just some lucky shot in the dark. It's actually part of a very deliberate strategy by Global AI to prove its tech in the world's most difficult markets first. Just look at this timeline. The momentum is incredible. They're racking up live in-production deployments in these super regulated industries like insurance and pharma. These are places where trust is everything and you have to earn it the hard way. And what this all boils down to is a major inflection point. The analysts have been talking about this for a while, but 2026 is the year it stopped being just a conversation. We've moved from theory to seeing real, measurable impact on the ground. So let's zoom out, because what we're seeing here is a fundamental shift in how every single business now has to think about AI. The whole game has changed. For years, this has been the holy grail, right? The big, almost theoretical question. Can AI go beyond just helping us out with little pieces of a task to actually owning a critical business function from start to finish? And now we have an answer. A live deployment in one of the most demanding corporate environments on Earth suggests that the answer is a clear, resounding yes. So what are the big takeaways here? What does this mean for you? Well, first, Agentic AI isn't a theory anymore. It's operational, it's live. Second, it's proven it can win in the most complex, high-stakes industries out there. This is going to cause a huge reordering of enterprise technology, and it's going to give a massive advantage to the companies that adopt it first. And finally, the whole focus is shifting away from AI that just assists people to AI that owns the entire process. And that changes everything about how work gets done.
And that just leaves us with one last provocative thought. We've just watched a core business function become fully autonomous. So the question is no longer if this is going to happen again, but where? What does a company look like when its entire finance department, or its HR, or its supply chain isn't run by teams, but by agents? The pilot is over. The next chapter is just getting started.